Okay, let's do this without knocking everything over. I've got keys, wallet, and phone. 44 feels like 38, and we've got rain coming. I do not plan on doing a lot of pedaling. Really kind of just want to show you some of what this bike can do and just take in the trail. I've got the Cloud 9 seat on properly this time. And let me turn off pedal assistance. I hardly ever use the gears because usually if I'm pedaling, it's on level ground and I'm already in 7th gear. But right now I'm pedaling with no assistance, just using the gears like an old-fashioned bicycle. I feel like I'm getting the benefit of this seat that I'm supposed to have. Like, I didn't have it on properly before. It was leaning, or it was positioned too far back. But now I can actually feel the springs. All right, where are we going? Still in pedal assistance 0. I'm just riding my bicycle right now. But we'll be putting it in pedal assistance 1 here shortly. I do want to show you how this thing handles hills. So I've got it in 1 right now. I'm pedaling. Oh, and the thing just shoots away from you. So pedaling in pedal assistance 1. I don't know if you can tell how steep this hill is, but I'm going up this steep hill at 12 miles an hour. Well, it says 12. It's probably really more like 10. Here's cruise control going uphill, 16 miles an hour. And I'm just, when I say miles an hour, I'm just referencing what's on the screen. You can always probably subtract 2 miles an hour. It's a different setup than last night because I had a little tumble last night where I was getting off the bike to try to clean the tire and I whiskey throttled it and almost ran it into my neighbor's house. Yeah, but I like these turn signals. Definitely come in handy. If I'm gonna be on the street, I wanna be safe, you know? Brakes are quieter than they were the last time. Oh man, this feels so much better with this seat properly attached because I literally almost impaled myself last time. And I'm not sure where I am. But that's, you know, the fun part about these bikes is you can just explore. Okay, I think I know this where I am now, and it's not where I wanted to be. This is right back onto the same street I was just on. I know there was a part of the trail that was real steep. I'll find it at some point, but you do not have to give this a lot to get where you want to go. So the cool thing about this throttle is you can temper it. It doesn't have to be all or nothing. So if you just want to casually throttle 10 miles an hour or whatever, you can. You got to be careful that it's going to put in the cruise control. Hopefully you can hear me better now. People are probably like, why is this guy riding his bike in 40-degree weather? Because it's fun, man. Cold don't stop me from doing anything. You improvise, adapt, overcome. That's why we have cold weather gear, right? I could turn it up if I wanted to. There's no one on the trail right now, but I don't want to. 1, because I don't want to aggravate my back any more than it already is. And 2, because I just don't need to. It sounds like something squeaking. I do have my dash cam down here. Hopefully you can see that. It's not connected right now. And there's also a light on there. So we're literally just cruising, man, just chilling. I have no desire to go fast through here right now. Just trying to link up with the other trail. Let me just put it in cruise control at 10, 11 miles an hour. See if I can lock in right there. 11, 10, 11. So, hey, I think if I was going faster, well, see, if I pedal, it's gonna shoot up to 16, right? But if I pedaled, I think I'd be able to ride no hands. See, I have never been back here. I would have never known all this existed. I was not able to get this far away on my regular bike. I did go fishing on with my regular bike once or twice. So this bike is handling these cracks and stuff well. I think this bike would have been a great follow-up for EUI to the F6. You know, just a continuation of their F series. So I don't know what the issue was with why it wasn't part of their business model and they branded it under AULOOR, but that's whatever. 664 bucks for a pretty good electric bike. And shout out to EUI's customer service. They were very responsive before and after purchase. Looking forward to getting the second battery for this bike. It would be nice if I can get a 30 amp hour. Still don't know where I am. Kick it up a little bit here. This thing eats hills for breakfast. Go ahead and help out the motor a little bit, help out the battery, and do a little pedaling. Again, I want to be mindful of my back situation. Sorry if you're tired of hearing about my back, but it's kind of consuming my thoughts right now. I've been getting it treated and I need to continue, get some more. Trying to do anything to avoid surgery. Let's do this. I think I just like using the signals more than I need to. So even though I do have it in pedal assist 5, I can still temper the throttle so it doesn't have to max out the speed. And then I can use the speed when I need it. There's a wildlife trail over here. I went up there the other day and it was still blocked off. I will have to try it one day. There is a lot of exploring I've got to do around here. So now I'm going uphill, level 5. I can actually drop this down. I don't need to be in 5. I'm going up this hill, now I'm in 1. The only difference is the speed. You get the same amount of power. It's like you get the same amount of torque, but it's just capping the speed. Using the motor a bit more than I usually do. So before I drop down too far, because I think at 51 volts, what is that, like 80%? There's no way the battery should run down that fast. That's why I want a second battery before I start doing fun stuff. Just want to use as much power as I can to get across the street. I'm really glad this phone holder is holding tight. Do, do, do. I'm turning, man, I'm turning. Yeah, I like the signals much more than having to use hand signals. Dang. It's like this guy wants to go everywhere I'm going. Okay. All right, turn it down and let's cruise. Hello. Yeah, up here. Definitely do not need pedal assistance going down here, because if I accidentally pedal, I ain't trying to go 30 miles an hour downhill on mechanical brakes. But they are working, just not trying to build up too much friction. Alright, yeah, so I'm fine riding until I get into the bumps, and that's when, you know, my back feels it. I'm gonna show you, just see what a little bit more off-roading looks like. Oh, I guess it helps being pedal assistance. Alright, so it's not as bad when the seat is on there properly, obviously. Yesterday I was just being stupid and lazy by not having the right hardware on the seat. And it would be really nice if people cleaned up after their dogs. You're blocking me, homie. As long as you don't speed up. Oh, you're looking at your phone. Ugh. Yeah, this is still hosed. I think I can make it over this. And I'm not in the mood to be off-roading today. So I think if this is like this, it's probably still going to be messed up by... Oh, shit! Okay, see? It's probably still going to be messed up by the W and OD. And I don't want to be lifting the bike over these ice mounds. Oh man, that little stumble right there was all my back needed. When it's on pavement and it's smooth, semi-smooth, it's fine. Look at that cruise control at 8 miles an hour. I'm gonna go back and then up the other way. We're gonna be getting rain starting today. I think today and tomorrow. And my wife comes back the next day. And then it rains again the day after that, so chances are I won't be riding again for several days. And so hopefully the next time I get out, all of the snow will be melted from off of the trails. I'm gonna see how far we can get in pedal assistance 1 going back up this hill. That's where the gears come in handy. In 4th gear right now, and we're just crushing it. Get down to 2nd gear. Look at this, pedal assistance 1. And you can't see how steep this hill is. Wow. Okay, this motor is beast. Wow. I thought for sure I'd have to go in pedal assistance, well, something higher. I did have to gear down. I should grab some lunch while I'm out here. I don't know if you could tell, but when I hit the brakes, there's a little brake light indicator that comes up. So it says 750 watt nominal motor that peaks at 1,000. I'll take that for legal purposes. Speaking of which, but if this thing is 750 peaking at 1,000, I'm good. I don't need 3,000 watts to ride the trails that I plan on riding. But this thing, you know, you can commute with it too. Yeah, so this is a comfortable ride. I'm sitting straight up. This is a versatile bike. This is, you know, you could use this bike to do anything. If you want to do some light off-roading, if you want to commute, you want to explore, I think this has got something for everyone. And the price is only 664 bucks. Like, I mean, you know, yeah, it has a lot of basic features, but many of these features are on bikes that cost $300, $400, $500 more. You know, then you add in the rear suspension, 20 amp hour battery, and this beastly motor. At 664 bucks, I think you've got a good deal, especially as an entry-level sort of bike, something you can get without breaking the bank, you know. But I'm looking beyond this one. I want to definitely have this for maybe my fishing bike. There's a lot of lakes and creeks and stuff around here, so I can certainly get out on this. I think it's the Bearded Fishing Dad. I saw a video of his where he hooked his up. I follow him from my fishing side of my outdoor life. Unfortunately, I can't get out in my kayak anymore. But yeah, this one would be my fishing vehicle. But I absolutely want the Walkie H9 Ultra. It just looks like the ultimate e-bike for me. I planned on getting a power station battery anyway. I was looking at the Jackeries, very curious to see how this compares. And then you add the 22 amp hour battery, you get a total of 77 amp hours. That's what I need. That's what I want. And hopefully one day is something I'll be riding on the channel. But until then, I am gonna continue to enjoy this guy right here. This bike reminds me of myself. It ain't much to look at. Well, you know, the bike itself might be. It does look somewhat awkward. You can't tell if it's like a BMX bike or if it's a cargo bike. So, you know, again, it's a bit of a unique frame. I've only seen this frame on the Havoc X2, which is a Canadian company. And it's like only one guy who did videos for him. He's got a red one. Shout out to him. Because after I got this, I was like, well, crap. Did I just buy something that no one wants? So it was good to see a video on the frame. And I had to go deep into Alibaba to find this same frame. And as I was mentioning in the review video, I found one bike with the same frame that came up when I put the serial number for the motor in Google. And it came up with the same bike, but with a 1500 watt motor. Whether or not that's true, of course, I don't know. But I think the same motor that's in that bike is in this one. And I would not be surprised if it's more than 750. So as you can see, for the past mile or so, I've just been pedaling in pedal assistance 1, just cruising. Not putting forth much energy because I'm capped out at 16, I'm in 7th gear. So no matter how hard or easy I pedal, it's gonna stay at this speed. We're at 49.5 volts, 50 volts. So the thing is, of course, the battery indicator still at 5 bars. If that's all you have, you're like, man, I got range for days. And then it drops to 1 bar, and you're like, all right, it's still got a little bit left. And then next thing you know, you're down to 2 bars. So the voltage meter is going to be more accurate. All right, let's check the GoPro battery. Just chill for a minute. We have done 37 minutes. Oh, turn off my pedal assistant so I don't whiskey throttle again. I think we've done 5 miles, 4 or 5, well, let's see, 4.9 miles, 50.4. Once you turn it off, it resets. That's my bike, the AULOOR F9. Figure I'd show you here, this little dash cam, just powered on. It's got a light also, nothing too spectacular. The real feature on this is that it comes with an app that you just connect to, join, then you've got an onboard dash camera. Oh, it turned off. Maybe the battery's dead. All right, hang on. Oh, something else I forgot to mention about this bike is that it does have a USB-C underneath. So come to think of it, let's try that. I said USB-C, I meant USB-A. Power on the bike, and then let's see if that got enough sustain. I don't know if it just does keep alive. So yeah, it's charging, so it's doing something. And let's see if we can run it while it's charging. So it says recording paused. So it looks like you can't use it while it's plugged in. Let me see if there's any difference with this battery. Turn that off. See, look, I don't like that it turns on power assistance 1. So it's connected to the battery. Let's see if it stays on. It does show speed. It's got map. I'm just gonna stick it in here with my water. Having these tools was very handy yesterday when it came to the seat. Okay, so we've got our, and no, I'm not gonna litter. So we've got our dash cam. It's recording. Anytime you turn it on, it just starts recording. All right, let's see how the speed on the GPS compares to the speed on the bike. I already know it's going to be off by like 2 or 3 miles an hour. See, again, it turns on to passenger assistance 1, and like you might forget that. Then you turn it on, boop, volts 50. So 50 volts is what? 75%. 65, between 65 and 70%, which I guess doesn't seem out of the realm of possibility, given that, I don't know. No, that, well, only thing I can say is that it's cold, but I haven't been using the throttle that much, so I don't know. So now we're just getting a view through the dash cam. Dash cam is plugged into my battery, which is in with my water, and I'm just gonna run this trail and then double back and go home, because I got chores to do before wifey gets back, and I don't want to go too fast. I can go this speed and power assistance 1 and be fine. So yeah, it looks like about 3 miles an hour difference or so, or even more. Yeah, 3-4 miles an hour difference between what the dash cam app GPS says versus what the bike says. The most I've spun the wheel up to is 38. The most I've gotten on the bike riding has been 34. So really about 30-31 miles an hour max. All right, let me just max it out on here. So that was throttle only. You'd be ghost pedaling if you tried to pedal there. So I don't know, that was like 24 miles an hour on the GPS, throttle only. So it's just beyond class 2, slightly beyond. I don't think it's enough to get your bike confiscated. Suppose you can run this dash cam going backwards also. But of course, you want it there in case you get into an incident, and it will be nice to have some video proof in your defense should you need it. So we're down to 49 volts. It's cold out here. I mean, it feels like it's in the 30s. That's the wind chill. Of course, I'm adding to it by riding the bike. I've got a balaclava on, so you might not be able to hear me clearly, but I appreciate you joining me for this ride along. So the real test for this bike will be how it handles over time. We got another hill. I'm still in pedal assistance 1. I keep wanting to call it power assistance. And I'm in 7th gear still. Wow. And this thing just pushes you up the hill. Wow, that was 7th gear in pedal assistance 1. As soon as I start pedaling, the battery goes up. Cadence sensor kicks in about between 1 and 2 revolutions when you need it. People give you a lot of respect out here as a biker, but sometimes too much, you know. Sometimes I'm like, just go, because I don't want to hold them up. I know how much of an impatient driver I am, And for someone to be going slow on a bike in front of me would piss me off. I don't want to be that guy. I'm gonna take this thing on home. A couple miles to get there. I'm gonna run some chores. I gotta run down to the county dump. I've gotta go to the donation place, drop off some stuff. Whee! And get something to eat. Yeah, these turn signals are great. So this thing can definitely handle itself on the road. If you want to use it as a commuter. Ay, ay, ay. I'm trying to tell people to come. The trash truck is telling them to go. We're all over the place. No harm, no foul. The less drama in my life, the better. I like to live at peace and be at peace with everyone. I don't need your drama. I don't need your stress. I mind my business, and I assume everyone else minds theirs. It's a big world for all of us to enjoy. And by the grace of God, that's what I intend to do. I've worked hard, now I want to play hard. At least as hard as my back will allow. Shout out to all the YouTube e-bikers or e-bike YouTubers. I know this stuff is not easy to do. So you guys who do it full time, who I've learned so much from, shout out to all of you. I'd love to ride with you guys one day. Yeah, I know I sound tired, but I'm honestly not. Kind of more so making old man noises than anything else. But we're almost home. 48 volts is somewhere around 60% or so. So I know I'm using the throttle a lot here. Or the motor a lot, I should say. But yeah, I'm looking forward to getting another battery so that I can compare how much they drain, and then I can do some range tests without having to do them while my wife is in town in case I get stranded. So yeah, there's a lot I plan to do with this bike. You can see I cleaned up the handlebars with the phone down here. Still got the bell. I got this thing just moved over so it's in easy position. 24-inch handlebars, by the way, if you were wondering, from end to end. This thing right here, I really love it. 40 bucks for the turn signals, and they're probably the best thing that I could have added to this bike. The bell came with it. People complain about this shifter, but you know, it works fine. Honestly, I don't know how I would feel about those trigger shifters. It's not something I'm familiar with. I mean, the last bike I bought was in 2003, and I bought 2 of them, and they're both still on my balcony. Oh, I can go back up to the main road and then get back on the trail and then exit the trail right behind my building. And then of course, that's when the hard part starts, you know, because I gotta lift the bike up the steps. But I've gotten that down to a good science where I can put the handlebars on my shoulders and lean against the rail. And that gives me good leverage. But, you know, I take the battery out, of course, and then it's 60 pounds at that point, 62 pounds at that point, you know, which isn't terrible for just a quick thing, you know. That's not something that I would want to be doing all day, but I hope it's something I can do at least once a day, 5-6 days a week, because I feel, even with this being an e-bike, I'm still getting good exercise. Like, I don't understand why people down e-bikes as though you're not getting any exercise. Like, you know, I think even if you're riding an e-moto, you're getting exercise. You're still using your arms, your core, your thighs. You know, there's a lot that you're putting into work just by being out and being active. You know, just because someone doesn't want an e-bike doesn't mean they have to down them for everyone else and take away the benefits for everyone else. There's no way I could have ridden my regular bike this far today. Nice little bass boat on the back of that truck. You know? And then people say, well, just get a motorcycle. I've never been on a motorcycle in my life. I've been on a motorcycle one time, I should say. I was in the Navy, a buddy of mine had one, and I was on the back of it. I thought I was gonna die. Pedal assist 5. So yeah, woo, imagine hitting that. That would suck. So yeah, I've never ridden a motorcycle. I've never powered a motorcycle. I'm almost 60 years old and your advice is to get a motorcycle? Yeah, okay. You know, this way I can pedal when I want. I can just cruise when I want. I can just be out here in nature. You know, if I want to come out on a Sabbath afternoon ride, I can. Oh man, I just realized the battery was at a bad, the camera was at a bad angle. But yeah, I'm a Bible believer, guys. So I love being out in nature, enjoying creation. Hello. Hi. So yeah, this gives me a way to get out and do that without having to exert all the energy in the world. 46.7. Well, again, we're just chilling, man. Last hill. Let me see if I can get up here. I know I could if I would have stayed on the pavement. All right, pedal assistance off. Because we're not going through what we went through last night, but I will use walk mode to get up here. Walk mode is very handy. I'm not even going to try to spin the wheels. Of course I am. Oh boy. Wonder if I can do this without losing it. So 48.1, 48 volts, 3, 4, 5 battery, and what, total of 50 something minutes? Seems like it was longer than that. 64 miles, 9 miles, not bad for the battery to be around 60%. 48 volts, yeah, so right around 60% or so, you know, which ain't terrible. Again, did a lot of throttling. So much easier to ride than walk. All right. Something always gets knocked loose. Okay, that's fine. All right, no casualties, no mishaps. Perfect. Oh my goodness. Mission accomplished. All right, guys, I'm home. Thanks for watching. GoPro stop recording. So with these lights, you could just, when you're done with them, you pull them out. They either go up or down depending on which side you have them. There's a little tab you press and pull. I think this one goes up. Suppose I could take this whole thing off. Okay, that one went down, so this one goes up. Somehow, some way, someday. I know you go up, man. Trying to be defiant. Alright, so this is usually when I break something, so let me just reposition. And I'm gonna work with you, okay? We work together. Oh, it went down, no wonder. Idiot. This doesn't seem to need a charge as frequently, but given that it's gonna be a few days before I ride again, I'm gonna just take it all off and then charge it all together. There's a 4-pronged USB charger that you can plug all of them up at the same time and then charge this separately. I mean, like maybe 20 minutes to charge all of them. So yeah, that's it. And then when you're ready, you put them back on. But again, I need to clean this thing up. I need to do some maintenance. Just, you know, make sure the oil, the chain is oiled and all that stuff. I'm not sure exactly what was squeaking, but I'd like to just get a air gun to it and blow out all the dirt. So I have the entry into where the wires go into the controller. I have that taped off with Gorilla Tape, just so that no moisture and dirt and stuff can get in on the controller. But that's about it. You know, wipe it down. I've got a cargo bag coming. I've got the hand grips coming, and well, a cover for it, so when I have to put it out on the balcony. Here's the battery. I'm gonna wait an hour, let that cool down before I plug it in to charge. I don't want to just start charging it right away. I think that is not good for them, from what I've learned by watching all these videos. And yeah, I gotta unfortunately not ride this thing for a few days. Watch me be out riding it tomorrow night. But yeah, I'm gonna, like I said, get it cleaned up hopefully before the next video. And yeah, one video coming up soon. We are gonna have the extra battery, and so I'll be able to do a good range test on a full battery, so I know I have enough to get home. All right, so with that, leave you guys till the next one. Enjoy the ride.